Hello everybody and welcome back. This is part 2 of Smart Doll Cortex, final boss grade. This part is going to be the assembly of the frame. So this is all the pieces that you need for the frame, including over here on this side, these are the screws. I don't know how well this is going to work. In Danny's video he called them 14, 8, and 4 or 5, something like that. I have 4 different sizes. So I'm going to try to figure this out as I go. So let's just get started. So I'm going to start it in almost pretty much the same sequence that Danny did in his video. So if you watched his video, mine will be somewhat similar, I guess. So let's just get started, right? So he shows in his video, he starts with the pelvis piece, which is this. This is going to be the part where the legs join onto and the pelvis join onto. So if you watch the first video, I already cleared off all the nubs or flash that's extra. So all there is to it right now is just to put it together. So you can see these little dots here. There's one dot here, there's one dot here, and there's a hole here and a hole here. So this kind of just goes together like so. All right, just kind of snaps right there in place. Very good. Then you have this piece here. This is like the pelvis piece. Now if you look at it, the downward sloping side, that's like the front. I guess you could say that's the crotchal area. And this part, which is kind of like vertical slightly, that's going to be the back. Or like you could say the higher part is the back and the angle part is the front. This makes a difference because in here, it has to slide on into here. So to tell which side it slides onto, let me see if I can focus this. So you see this ridge line? One is higher than the other. So if we go to the other side, yeah, so this is the higher side and this is the lower side. Now the lower side is going to be, so this is, wait, this is the lower side, this is the higher side, lower, higher. So the lower side is going to be this sloping side. That's going to go here. So he said if you put it on, yeah, you can hear that squeaking noise. So we're gonna have to grease this up. Wow, that's like really tight. So I'm gonna put this down. I have my little grease that was provided for me. Thank you very much, Danny Chu. Sorry, I thought it wasn't in the box. I couldn't see it. It was kind of wedged in between a bunch of parts. So get like a little tissue here. This off to the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little grease in there. Open this up. Kind of, I'm going to use this side actually. Let's use this side. Kind of dab in there. Get some of that yummy grease. And we're going to put it on the inner side here. Just going to kind of grease it up just like that. So that should be good enough. Hopefully I can save some of that grease. I don't want to use all of it up. So let me see. Higher side, lower side. So lower side gets the downward slope part here. So I'm going to put this on. Still squeaks, but that should be more than enough. There we go. More than enough. There we are. So that's all nicely done and flush. So pretty good. Pretty good. So we're going to put this to the side. That is one piece. Now, in Danny Chu's video, actually, when he shows the foot pieces, these are the feet. Right here, these are the feet pieces. He actually puts them fully together. So you can see here there are 2 screws, but in actuality, in his frame assembly video, he puts both these screws in because that's for the vinyl version. But for the Cortex version, you're only going to put the screw in on the front part and not the top part, because this part goes through the foot, goes through the actual shell piece of the foot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here. This is the foot joint. Now on here, I don't know if you could see it. right there, you see right there, there's a, see if I can focus. So right there, there is a little nub sticking out. And you're gonna get this piece here, and you can see here, there is like a groove. You see that groove there? It doesn't go out through the whole thing, because on this side, there's no groove. So you wanna fit that little nub piece in that groove. So we are gonna grease this up. We should have enough grease in here to grease this up here. Okay, and we're gonna kind of get this. I think this is the right. This is the right foot. Okay, so this is the right foot, which means this piece needs to be able to go backwards, but not forward. So this is the wrong one. It should be this one here. This one doesn't have a designation, but if we line it up like this, it's the right foot. Right foot is this way. Yeah, it should be this one. Hopefully that's this one. We're gonna put this in and hope for the best. It should be the right piece. Okay, there we go. So we should be able to go back. But not forward. Okay, so if this is the right foot, which piece is this? Because the screws face on the inside. So this should be... Alright, so if this is the right foot, let's see here. Shouldn't be able to go forward, but should be able to go backwards. This should be the right one. So this is going to be the one that I'm going to need. Yeah, I think this is like really weird because when you watch the video it sounds so simple, but when you're actually doing it, it's slightly different. So this is going to be the ball joint or the ball cap that goes on here. So we're just going to snap that in. Okay. Nope. It's got to be in straight, right? No, it's not straight. That's why. Nope, still not straight. Oh, this is a lot harder than I thought. So, definitely not going to do the Mirai challenge within 1 hour. Till we can figure out how to get this ball joint together. Oop. There we go. That was a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. Okay, so this is the right foot of the doll. It's all well and good. Okay, then we'll do the other one. So we'll put the right foot there. We are going to get this piece here, and we are going to assemble it. So this is not the right side. This is the right side here. Okay, so this should go together like this. Make sure you get the appropriate side that it's facing. And this is supposed to be an 8, if I'm not mistaken. That's what he said in the video. So we are going to try and try and assemble this one here. Take my trusty thing. Okay, I'm not going to screw it all the way. And get my regular screwdriver. I'm just going to manually tighten it up. Because I don't want to break any of the threads and then just start crying like crazy because I broke it. Okay, that feels tight enough. So that's one foot piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this, when this piece goes into the foot, which I'm going to show you the foot. It's going to go into the foot from the bottom like this, and then you're going to pop this thing right up top. So, yeah, because this goes for the right foot. Right, right, right. So, I'm going to put this foot piece away. That's one piece. Okay, so yeah, that's the right foot. And that's one piece. And then why don't we just put the other piece here together. Get my little screw. I start threading it through a little bit by hand. And we're gonna fell apart. Okay, just to get it in there, and then we will tighten it with the hand. So one thing I do have to say, and I'll probably say this throughout the video, is just remember Danny Chu did say in the video that this was actually made for staff to put together at Mirai Store Tokyo. This wasn't actually made for consumer use to buy and put together yourself. But because a lot of people asked for this to be able to be put together themselves, Danny Chu has delivered, and we are now able to have a Cortex kit. But just be advised that this is not for everybody. As you can see, I do build Gundams quite often, and even though I have that experience of doing so, this is quite the endeavor. So we're gonna grease that up real nice there. And maybe to make it easier, I'm gonna grease up this inner side here, which I think he did in his video as well. I just didn't do it for the first one. Probably put just a little bit more grease. There we go. So again, we're gonna line up that little nub there with the groove that's here. Do that. Just like that. Okay, so this time I got a little extra grease spilling out here on the side, which I didn't get the other one because I didn't put so much grease. So we have that, and we are going to now test it. This is the left foot, so this would be the front, and then the back should go all the way back. Right. Then we need the ballpoint little ball end joint here. Pop that in. Oh, for whatever reason, that was just so much easier than the other one. I don't know why. Okay, so we are good with that. We have our 2 feet ball joints that go and slide right into here for the bottom part of the foot. So that's good. We're going to put that off to the side with our pelvis piece here. Okay, so the next part we're going to tackle is going to be the shins. Oops, I hit the camera. So the shins is going to be these pieces here, right? And you can tell from here, see how it says, let me see, I don't know if the lighting can, Oh, I dropped it. Sorry. So you can see it says Mirai right there on the side. This is the outside of the shin. This is the outside, and the parts with the screw holes, that's going to be the inner part of the thigh. So it's going to be on this side. This is the inner part of the thigh or the shin, and then the one with the Mirai logo is going to be on the outside, right? So let me just make sure these are the two parts that go together. Oh, I got the wrong one. I got the wrong one. So should be this piece that goes with this one. Yeah, that goes with this one, and this goes with this one. Okay, so the Mirai logo is the outside. The side with the screw holes, that's the inner part of the shin. Okay, so if you're looking at somebody's body and the crotches in the middle, which is here, and this is the outside of the person's body, that would be the Mirai logo, and the inner part of your thigh or inner part of your shin is the screw side. So what you need is this here. This is the knee joint. Now the knee joint has a flat surface on one side, and on the other surface it's concave, like there's like all these open areas. So the open areas, the concave areas, is going to be facing the inner side of the shin. So it's going to be facing the side with the screws. So you're going to put this like this. This is going to go on this side with the screws. Okay, so you can put some grease there. And then you're also going to need this part right here, and you can tell from, I don't know about the light, there's going to be two grooves. There's 1 and 2, and then in the middle, right where this open hole is, there is a flat part. So this hole and flat part goes in this way. So easier way to show you is that the inner part with the screw holes at the very bottom is where it plugs in. At the very bottom right here, if you can see it right there, there is a peg. The peg goes into the hole. That's like the best way to do it. So the two lines or the two grooves will go into the two grooves here, just like that. Okay, and then this piece here is going to be for the inner thigh. So the open hold part right here is going to go in there. So I'm going to put some grease on that. As per Danny Chu's instructional video, we're going to get a little bit of grease there. And we're just going to dab it right along there. And I'm also going to put it on the outside so that it can go smoothly on the other half that it attaches to. Right there. So we go ahead and put this just like that. Okay, there you go. So you could tell the inner side of the screws, this thing is able to go backwards, and it's not able to go forwards because this side should be the front of the body, this side's the back of the body. And do that, and then we're going to take this piece here and just plop it right on top, like so. Fantastic. So that goes in like that. Now the screw parts, he says that the top part over here by the knee joint should be 14, and this should be 8. 14, I'm assuming, is the biggest screw that you get, and then 8 is the one that you have the most of. So we're going to do that. Take one big one, pop it in here, get it started by hand, because if you start it with the power drill, Danny Chu is just awesome and he can just start it with the power drill, but if you start it with a power drill and you have it facing diagonally, what's going to happen is you're going to put the screw in diagonally, it's going to force it in the wrong way, and then you're going to ruin your part. That's just something that I learned just by building things in general. So we're going to screw this now. I'm not going to do all the way in because I'm going to tighten it by hand. Okay, that's good enough. So the rest of this I will tighten by hand just to make sure that we don't thread it or go too deep where we end up breaking the pieces. So that's good. top one. I think I got the wrong Phillips head. Like this one's like way too shallow or something. Tighten that up. There we go. And this should bend. There we go. Not bad. Alright, this bottom part doesn't move. So let's do the other shin piece. I'll put this up here. So we have this other shin piece. Now this is the side with the screws. So that side should have the open face part. So let's put some grease. Okay, and then what I learned from doing the other one is this is the screw hole side, this is the open side, these two pieces go together. Pop that in. There we go, fantastic. So what I did on the other one was I put grease here, and then I got grease all over my thumbs from putting it on. So now, after that's already in, I am now gonna apply grease to this side. This way I don't have greasy hands. Then we're going to take the other shin part and this open hole, and the flat surface goes right in like this. Perfect. And then we're going to slide this piece on. Just like that. That is a satisfying click right there. Okay. So remember, the top part closest to the knee gets the biggest screw, the 14, and then this one on the bottom gets the 8. That is my assumption, because unfortunately, maybe Danny Chu can make an update on the screw numbers, like where the screw goes. Because he says in this video the numbers all the time, like 14, 8, and I think 5 was the other one, which that's 3 numbers, but I have 4 different screw sizes, so I don't know yet. And the bottom we'll get the smaller one here, which is the 8. I'm gonna put that in. Alright, then have my trusty screwdriver. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Then we'll just tighten this up by hand. And this bottom one we're going to tighten up by hand. Okay, so there are your 2 shin pieces. So now we're done with the shin pieces here, and as you can see, there's still more parts to do. Okay, so now that we're done with the shin joints, we are going to go with the waist part here. So this waist part we are going to put on these joints. So the way it works is we already established which is front and back, right? So the downward sloping part is the front, and the more higher part is the back. So these waist parts, let me put this down, you'll see 2 parts just like this, and one's the front side and one is the back side. So the one with the holes for the screws is going to be the back. This is where the for lack of a better word, this is where the butt is going to be, and this is where the front is going to be. Okay, so it should go, as you can see, the downward slope facing part, and then here's the screw holes, so it should be in the back like that, right? Should be in the back like this. And then you would put this piece on top of it like so, and then screw it in the back. But you're also going to need the joint pieces. So just so I can remember which part went with what, this one like this. Okay, so these 2 pieces go together, and this piece is here. So another piece that you're going to need for this setup, aside from the ball joint part that goes like that, okay, you're going to need this piece. This piece has, I don't know if you could see it. This piece has like a little engraving of a logo, which I don't even know what kind of logo that is. But the better part is you can see this piece, there's a flat top right here. This flat top goes in to the circle piece. Where's the screw side? Okay, this is the side with the screw holes, right? So this actually goes into here, just like this. There's going to be a groove. So you see if I can, there you go, block some of the light. So you can see there's this one line groove, and then there's like a big square open hole groove. So this flat piece goes into that line groove area. Oop. Just like so. Okay? And then, this is the part, I usually put it on the part with the screw side, where you put in the screws. So, this is actually, because the screws are the back, this is actually going to be for the right leg, right? Is this right or left? Right? Right. Yeah, right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grease this up first. Get some more grease. And I'm going to grease up the right side ball joint. Just going to put it all around this ball joint here. I don't know how much is too much. We don't want the girls so greased up that they start sliding all over the place and aren't able to keep their standing. So we're going to wipe some of it off. We're going to apply some grease and then wipe off like some of the excess. Okay. Okay. So again, the downward sloping part is the front of the body, and this kind of somewhat vertical side is the back side. And we're going to take the side with the screw holes, and we're going to apply it to the back side right here. Okay. And then I'm going to take this side, put it right on top, like so. Oop. Just like that. And then you got to put screws in the back, right? So the screws, according to Danny Chu's tutorial, the screws should be 14, which is like the largest ones that you have. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to thread it by hand a little bit. I'm like right-handed, so I can't really screw it in like that. So we're going to do the bottom one first, because that seems to be the easier one to get in. And once you get a foothold in there and kind of stays together, we're going to take another one, put it on the top, start it out by hand to make sure that it grabs properly and is not going in at a diagonal. Okay, then I'm going to get my little power tool here, and we are going to screw these in. So like kind of like when you put in a car, you put the wheels back on a car. You don't want to do one side and then the other side. You kind of do it alternating. So do the bottom a little bit, do the top a little bit, and this prevents one side going too far in compared to the other side and damaging the wheelbase. But that's usually for a car, like when you're torquing like a wheel back together. We're not really doing that here, but it's just a force of habit that I do it that way. So I'll take my screwdriver and just tighten it. Okay, then go to the top. Oop, can't find the groove there. Tighten it. Oh, that's as tight as the top can go. So, okay, so that's good. All right, moves around pretty good. So we're gonna do the other side. Move this over. So we're gonna get this again. Now we know which is the front and which is the back side because I already put the screws on. So this one has the screw holes, so this will be the back side. I'm gonna get this part here and just kind of put it in just like that. Okay, so it's in just like that. Yeah, the light is too bright, it's kind of glaring. And then Oh, before I do that, let's grease it up some more. I'm gonna grease up this side. So remember not to put too much grease, and if you put a little too much, you could just kind of wipe it off just a little bit. Because again, if you put too much grease, then your girl's not going to be able to stand. She's probably just going to slip and slide everywhere. So let's pop this on here. And then we're going to take the other side and put it right on top. Like so. Okay, then we're going to get our 14 screws. Okay, pop that on. Start it out a little bit. Get the next screw. Get it started. Okay. I'll get my little trusty power tool. Okay. And then we're going to just tighten it by hand. Top. Go back down to the bottom. Okay, so now we got the waist joint in. Moves pretty good. Squeaks a little bit, but it should. It's brand new. Awesome. So that is the pelvis joint right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these shin pieces. I'm going to attach them. So remember, this is the front. The downward slope part is the front, and the Mirai logo should face the outside. So this will go into here, right? But these have, I think it's very loud. So what we're gonna do is grease it up. Grease that up there. Screws face the inside of the thigh, and Mirai logo's the outside. There we go. And that's in there. That's one piece. Get some more grease. Grease up the other one. These parts fit in. These parts fit in pretty tight, actually, to be honest. Mirai logo on the outside. Screws on the inside. Okay, so that piece is in. One thing that I'm noticing about my doll is that it looks like my shin piece right here it looks like it's not straight. Like maybe the way it was made was like a little off. Like you can see it, my knee joint, perfectly vertical, but it's curving to this side a little bit, which hopefully doesn't affect the doll too much once the shell is put on. But I guess we won't know till we get to that point. So there we go, we got the legs. Legs are all done. Let's see if I can twist it. Legs are all done and ready. So let's move that off to the side. Actually, you know what? You could probably, this thing you could pop on, I guess. So this is the front side, the downward curving side. You get the spine piece, and this is the back side where the stand actually plugs into. So that's going to be in the back here, and there's a cross shape. If you look at it, it's a cross shape piece at the top, and on the inside it's also cross shape on the inside. So you just kind of line up the cross shapes and kind of just pop that on there. I'm not going to put it all the way in because when I put the shell on, I'm going to need to remove this, but for today's purposes, just kind of put it in just like that. We can even put the legs back. Just have it kneeling like Danny does in his videos, and put it off to the side there. But that's really everything for the lower half. And then we have the feet part here, which I didn't put on to the ends. I'm just gonna leave that for when we put on the shell. Okay, so now that that part is done, I don't know why I put this off to the side, because I actually need this, and I don't know why I put this on. I should just take this off. So I'm going to take the spine off from the waist joint. Oh, there we go. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to put on the shoulder blades. So luckily with Cortex, you don't have to put on the neck joint or this bottom back part where that plugs into the stand. For the vinyl version, you did have to put these on. He had a special tool, but I guess since we don't have access to the special tool here at home, it's already assembled. So we just need to do the shoulder blades. So these are the shoulder blade pieces here. This is what they look like right there. Now again, the one with the screw holes, there we go. The one with the screw holes right here, those are in the back of the doll, and the one without the screw holes, that's going to be the front of the doll. So now also a thing to note with this part is you don't grease it up. There's no grease. So we are going to take, let's see which side is left and right. This is the back, so this goes this way on this one. So let's do this side first. So screw holes. Okay, so screw holes. This goes right here, just like this. And then we're going to need the top half, just like that. Oh, the click. Did I get the click? I got the click. Okay. Now, according to Danny Chu's tutorial, these get what's known as 8s, I guess. So those are your middle size screws. I'm going to try and hand thread that a little bit. There we go. That grabbed. And do this one here. So it's going to be 3 8s to each side, or 3 mediums, I guess you could say, to each side of the doll. Another one. For the shoulder piece. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna do a little quick part. I'm gonna do the top and do the bottom. Then I'm gonna do the middle and go back to the top again. Okay. So, didn't go all the way in, just as described. So then we're going to tighten it by hand. I'm going to start at the top, then do the bottom one, and then the middle one. Awesome. And again, you don't put grease on these parts. No grease. According to Danny Chu, no grease. So we're going to do the other side. So this is the back side, screws. No screws, so this should be the front. And screw holes, back side. Put that in. We're going to get our 8s again, or our mediums. It's real weird. I'm like switching hands in a weird way because the stand for my camera is actually in between my two arms. So when I want to move my hand from one side to the other, I gotta like switch off and hold it with one hand and switch it back on, and it's just weird. I was thinking about making like a whole setup to do videos like this, where I would have like the camera hanging overhead, but I didn't have enough time to do that. Casey Neistat has a setup like that. I don't have enough time to do that, but that would be nice. So right now I have it on a stand, a tripod stand, which is very different from Danny Chu's video where he did it on his cell phone and he had like one of those mono stands. Yeah, I have a big camera, so my big camera needs a big tripod stand. Anyways, let's tighten these up. We're going to start with the top. I'm going to do the bottom again. And then I'll do the middle. Okay. And we will tighten it by hand. Let's start with the top. Start with the top. Then do the bottom. And then we'll go to the middle. Okay, so there we go. Spine is all done with the shoulder blades, all nice and tight, complete. So not much more to go. You see all these other parts, that's all that's left. So I'm going to put this off to the side and get started with the other ones. Okay, so now that we're done with the shoulder joint pieces, what we're going to do is we're going to do the arm. So let's do the upper half of the arm first, which is going to be this piece here and this piece here. These are the parts of the arm. So again, the parts that have the screw holes is going to be the back of the doll, and the parts without the screw holes is going to be the front. So these two pieces go together, and this is the one with the holes, this is the back, and this goes together. So this is going to be the left arm, and this is going to be the right arm. Left, right, because if the doll was facing you, I mean, then it would be like that. Then the other piece you're going to need other than those are these two big pieces here. So these two big pieces, one's going to go this way and one goes go this way, and it'll kind of assemble just like that. So let's put this together. So what we're going to do is going to get some grease so that we can grease it up. Get some more grease here. And I don't think it matters which way it faces because they look exactly the same. But if you wanted to try and do something interesting, these have a flat side, like completely flat, and then this side has two little dimples, like one on each side, like little circle dimples. I'll put the circle dimples facing the back, which is like the part where the screws go in. So I'm gonna put some grease right there, some grease on the inside wheel here. And I'm gonna snap this on. Oh, it doesn't even snap on, just kind of goes. That's interesting. Just kind of goes right on. Okay. I was trying to avoid getting grease on my hands, but I guess that's unavoidable. Now I'm gonna snap. Put some grease over there on that one. Wipe my hands on this tissue a little bit because I got some grease on my hands. And then this piece, oh, I see why, because this piece is the one that's actually like, should have gone the other way. So if I turn this over, this should have actually gone in first. I'm gonna get grease on my hands now. Oh well. Okay, hold on. Now I got too much grease on my hands. That's not good. Okay. I'll wipe my hands off. Let's try this again. Put this on. Very squeaky. Okay. I must be doing something wrong because I can't get it in. There we go. Okay. Now I got grease all over my fingers. Yay. Yay for grease. Okay. So all that grease kind of came off of my hands, and so I'm gonna just kind of apply some there. And then plop this piece right on top. Oop. Oh, it went in and popped right out. Okay. There we go. So, this is an interesting one. So, Danny says that this top hole by the shoulder joint is going to be an 8. So, that's the medium-sized one. So, let me get one of those. Pop that in there. Get my screwdriver. Okay, I'm gonna start it like that. Now this bottom hole here, that's actually going to be the smallest one that you get, which is number 5 apparently. And the small one, he says, do not use a power drill because you will break the threads. So I will not do that. I'm gonna do that by hand. Okay, get my power drill for the top part. Do the bottom part again. I like to do them in alternating tightness. So bottom, now go back to the top. Can't find the thread. Hold on. There we go, got it. Tighten that one up. I think that's as far as it can go. Okay. So, that piece is done right there. Oh, let me try the bottom piece just a little bit more. Oh, no, that's it. It's good. So, you can see here, I have a gap. There was no... I remember when I cleaned it, there was no extra thing, so I'm wondering if this needs to go tighter. Which I just didn't do it tight enough, maybe? No, it doesn't want to screw anymore. I guess that's just the way it is. Let me try a different size screwdriver. I have a smaller one here. Let's see if that's... Oh yeah, this one's better because it can fit in the hole. I guess it's because the other one was too fat. I'm gonna tighten this up. There we go. No more gap. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm gonna use this smaller one now. Okay, so that's one arm piece. This is going to be the left arm. So let's do that and do the same for the other side. So which one was it? Not that side. It's this one. That's the pain in the butt side. Okay. So I'm gonna get some grease. There's still a lot of grease left on here, so we're gonna pop that on. Okay. And then put it on the inner wheel. Okay, and I didn't put grease on this side because that's where I'm going to press down with my thumb. So this part's a pain in the butt. There we go. Now it's in. Got some grease that spilled out from the centerpiece onto my hands. Wipe that off. Too much grease, maybe. And then we're gonna put some grease on this side. and close it up. Okay, so we're gonna get our 8s, which is the medium-sized screw. Pop that up there. Get the thread started. And we're gonna get our 5s, which is the smallest screw. I'm gonna put it in here. Okay. My trusty drill. Got stuck to... Whoa, what? Got stuck to my drill now. What's up with that? Okay. I'm gonna screw the bottom one now. Seems pretty good. See, I have a gap there because this is not all the way in. I'll tighten that up. Okay, now the gap is gone. Good. Okay, so that is the upper part of the right arm. So we're good for that. Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna do the what's it called? After we finish this arm part, so now we're gonna do the elbow and the forearms, which Danny Chu says has to be done together because it's kind of like one whole piece. Oh, actually, I almost forgot something. Back for these pieces, there's these two little circle pieces. These are like for the upper arms. So there, it doesn't matter what size. There is an open-ended side, and then there is like a somewhat smaller hole side. It's pretty easy to tell. You just kind of take the upper-ended side and slide it on onto here, like so. Goes more in than that. Okay. Nope, that's about it. So that's in, and then just want to get this other piece and slide it in there. Oh, actually, it can go a lot further. You really got to put some muscle into that. Okay, so this one is actually not all the way in. There we go. You can hear like this nice click. There you go. So those pieces go at the end of the arms. Those little circle pieces there. And okay, so now the elbows. So these are the elbow joints right here. Now what you want to do is you want to look at this shoulder joint piece. There's going to be a smaller side, right? And then the bigger ball side. The smaller side is the top of the arm. So that's going to go to the top of the arm, and this goes to the forearm, which is the bottom of the arm. And what you want to do is the part of the ball that sticks out more, okay? And there's going to be a part of the ball that doesn't stick out really at all. So the part that sticks out more is actually going to be the inner part of your forearm, okay? That's going to be the inner part. So this piece goes with this, right? Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece here, the smaller one, and the smaller one's going to go for the top arm. And then the bigger piece here is going to go for the bigger part of the arm. Now, like I said before, you're going to see these two pieces here, the small and the big one, and you can see that the big one is more towards this side than the other side, and the same thing for the smaller one, it's going to be more towards one side than the other side. So the part that's sticking out more is going to be the inner part of your arm. So I don't know how to best explain this, if you guys can see this. So this one will go here, right? And the bigger one will go here. Okay, so let me put it on, so maybe you guys, it'll be easier once you see it actually on. So yeah, let me get this part here, get some more grease. Okay, and put it. Okay, and then I want to put some on, and on the inner side, the outside, and the inside. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and pop this on. All right, and now got a little bit of grease on me. It's gonna be hard to push those things in if you get like a lot of grease on your hands, so wipe that off. And then we're gonna put some more grease on this one. Oh, ran out. Okay, put some more grease on this smaller one here. And on the inner side and in the ball area right there. And we are going to slide this. Oop. There we go. Okay, let me wipe my hands again, because there's grease all over here. Okay, so as you can see, the bigger side of the ball joining out is going to be the same side, the big ball joining out. So that's how that piece goes. Then, this grease is really greasy. I'm gonna put it on the outside here of this part, and the outside of the smaller one. And then, oh crap, got some grease on my table. Then I'm just gonna plop this right on here. No screws required, just snaps right on. Nope. See, I have too much grease on my hands. Like the parts are just slipping right off my fingers. Huh. This is a lot tougher than the other piece. I'm having difficulty with this one, huh? Alright, it doesn't help that my hands are greasy as anything. Let me see, I wonder if I cover it in tissue and then try to snap it in. Nope, that didn't work, but it did clean off some of the grease. Okay, so this is like the difficulty of it. Putting these things together here. Oh, that did get rid of a lot of grease that was on the part, but I don't know if that's actually going to help me or not. And there we go, one side. Oh, I can't get the other one now. There we go. I kind of used the table and kind of pushed down to get that in, but there we go. Now the piece is all good. And then should be able to go all the way up like this. Yep. Alright, and there's a bunch of grease that spilled out the seams because I did put a lot on this one. And even though I did put a lot, it took a lot of effort to get that on there. I'm not looking forward to the other one. What made this harder than the other ones was that there's 2 pegs that have to go in, where the other one was just 1 peg, so you're just like pushing down on that one, but now there's 2 for this piece. So let's do the other one. this other one here. This piece. So bigger half of the ball is on this side. So this is the bigger half of the ball. So we're gonna get this one. It's gonna go like this. And the top one is gonna go like this. I don't know if you guys can see that perfectly because the camera's a little far away. But let's put on the grease for this one. And on the inner side here, some more grease. And then on the inner part of the wheel. Okay. So, just gonna, there we go. That one was a little bit easier than expected. Wipe some of that grease off of my hands. And then this top one, I'm gonna kind of rub this on here. Rub-a-dub. Rub-a-dub-dub, got some grease. I don't think that's how that song goes. It's definitely not how that song goes. This one's pretty used up, so I'm just gonna get a new one because the fibers on that is just like all over the place now. Get a new one. Get some more grease on this one. Okay. And just put it onto the little piece. And then to this one and on the inside. Okay. And we're gonna just slide that on. Oh, now I got grease on my fingers again. Come on. There we go. Alright, now I need new tissue. Grease spilled out everywhere. So it's all over the part. Again. Don't be like me and put too much grease and then have it spill out all over the part. I'm terrible. So then you gotta wipe it down and it's like all over the place. Ugh. Okay. Alright, so now here comes the pain in the butt part that I don't like about this piece. Okay. Get it on the outer ring. And on the outer ring. Alright. Now for the hard part. Pop this on. Like so. Oh, come on. That was so much easier. Okay, so that first one was hard. Second one, I don't know. Maybe because I got used to it, it just became easier for some reason. Let's wipe the grease off of that part. And let's test it. Bends all the way. Fantastic. Awesome. So there goes that piece there. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna plop them in. Yeah, we're gonna plop them in into the arm sockets, which we're gonna grease this up. I'm just gonna sneak it in there. Oh wow, it's really tight. This is why, I guess that's why Danny Chu suggests that you, let me see, I'm gonna take my X-Acto knife. I'm gonna pop it in here like so, and just twist it. As Danny Chu says, you can just twist it, but it's actually quite difficult to twist. Kind of just make the hole like somewhat larger, I guess. Hopefully that worked. Let's try it again. Oh, there we go. Now it's grabbing. Okay, oh yeah. That's really tight, actually. Let's see if we can just take a little bit more off. Okay, hopefully that worked. Let's give it a little bit more grease. Hopefully that helps. And we're gonna pop this into the socket now. There we go. Now that's in there. Okay, so just getting it over that initial hump was a little bit of a pain, but we got it. So let's do that with the other one. Just gonna carve out a little extra piece. Now Danny said that this is optional, that you don't have to do this, but as I just discovered, it does make it a little bit easier to put on. That's for sure. Okay, let's get some more of this grease here. I'll grease you up. Okay. Go ahead and come on. It's like Happy Gilmore when he's talking to the golf ball because it didn't go in the hole. He's like, "Are you too good for your home?" There we go. Took a little finagling, but that is in there. Fantastic. Okay, so that's it for the arms. Next up, we're gonna have to do the wrist joints. Okay, so now that that's done, we're just gonna do the wrist joints. Move these out of the way. So this is all the parts that's left for the wrist joints, and then this is for the hands, and I have an extra set of this. Not really sure why, but maybe just extras just because I might need it. So these are the hand joint parts right here. These are for the hands, and these parts here, these go on top of that. So just like with the other parts, we're gonna get some grease. And we're just gonna apply some grease right around here. So I'm gonna do it just like that, right around that joint. And then we're gonna put it on one side. I don't want to put it on the other side because then I'll get grease all over my fingers again. And then just put a little bit in the hole, just like that. So we're gonna take it, put it on top of this piece, and then just kind of finagle its way in. Because this part's smaller, so it's a lot more difficult. There we go. So, right in, just like that. Just wipe some grease off my hands. There's too much grease on this thing. Then I'll just apply a little bit more right on this top part, and then a little bit in that hole there. And you're gonna take the smaller ball joint that is left and slide that right on top. Just make sure it's straight and not at an angle, and just push it in. Yep, it's moving all over the place on me. Let's Hands are greasy. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Just wipe my hands off. Grease on my hands. Please don't be like me and put too much grease on the parts, and then it just makes your life difficult. Oh, I thought I had it just right there. Alright, I'm gonna try my lofty table trick. See if that works. Wow, I really can't get this piece on. Y'all are probably just watching this, just making fun of me, but like, this guy can't get the ball joint on. It is, I guess, kind of funny that I'm having so much difficulty with this. Danny, when you watch his video, there we go. He makes it seem so easy when you watch the video. He just plops it right in 2 seconds, boom. But he's probably built so many of these that that's probably why. And then you're just gonna slide this little piece here, this ring piece, into this slot hole here for the hand. Should just snap in there. I really don't want to break this piece, but my fingers, look at this. All that pushing, my fingers are actually like starting to bruise up. Need to toughen up my fingers. Oh boy. There's a small little piece there. Can't. I'm gonna try something. See if this works. I'm gonna use this little tool. This might not be recommended, so don't follow my suit. Oh, that worked real nice. That went right in there. I don't know why I can't do it, but that worked just fine. Let's see, let's do the other one. So, grease up the wrist joints here. I'm very liberal with this grease. The Q-tip is all messed up. There you go. Okay. Take this and oh, there went all the grease. All right, now that just makes it difficult again. Let's try it this way. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting these parts in. There we go. There we go. That part's in. Wipe off the extra grease so I can attempt to do this again. Okay, make sure it's straight. Nope, didn't go. Okay, I'm gonna try this again with the table. Can't, for the life of me, get that little thing in. How many of you are doing this at home and having a hard time putting this piece in? Because I definitely am having a difficult time putting this in. See, I have it straight, but I can't get it seem to go in for some reason. I wonder if I can cheat this and use my alligator clippers, my alligator pliers. Only thing I'm worried about is if it creates marks on the ball joint. Yeah, look, it's gonna create marks. Can't do it that way. Just gotta push it. Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to take a break there for a minute. I was trying to get this ball joint piece in, and I just couldn't. Like, it was hurting so bad. Like, I am such a wuss. If you look at my fingers here, they're all like, I don't think you can see it, but they're all like black and blue from like pushing down. And I guess and I exercise too. I guess I just don't exercise my finger muscles enough. But like from constantly pushing like this, and like this, like it's bruising my hand. So I do want to say that everyone at Mirai Store Tokyo, including Mr. Danny Chu that assembles these things, you guys have either gloves or hands of steel or something, because after a while, like, I don't know how many frames your employees put together in one day, but my hat's off to you, because doing one and just it just beats up my fingers. I don't even have this much hard time with like Gundam kits trying to put these together. These are like really tight parts, which is good in a way, because at least you know it's not going to fall apart. But I will use, for this part, my little trusty alligator clips, because my fingers are definitely sore right now. And this works pretty nicely. And it doesn't scratch anything up because it's not a ball joint, like it comes on there nicely. And I have nice little wrist joint now. Okay, so that part's done. So why don't we put that into the socket, right? So we're gonna get this, I'm gonna grease it up. Grease up the hands. Okay, I'm gonna put the first one on. Just kind of snake it in there. There we go. There we are. Grease helped out pretty well for that. And then for the other one, oh, I almost put it on the wrong piece. I'm gonna put some grease on this one as well, so that this can effectively slide into the forearm. So I got some grease on there, and just kind of squeak it through. Okay, there we go. So hands are done. The entire I need more tissues. The entire Mirai frame is now completed. All the parts are done for the frame. So that took me quite a while to do. I definitely failed the Mirai challenge on this one. Took me a long time. So I'm gonna just lightly put the spine on here, and then we can actually put the arm joints on. Just gonna lightly put it on. I'm not gonna put it on all the way because I'm gonna have to take it off later. Put the other arm joint on there. Oh, there goes the waist. But that's it. I have my Mirai frame all complete. Hands and everything. Legs are on. Now I just need to complete the shell, which is gonna take me another bunch of times. So that's it for this part. You are left over with a bunch of screws, so I do have 2 extra large, which is the 14s. I have 2 left of the mediums, which is the 8s, and 2 left of the 5s, which is the smalls. And then I still have 4 screws here, which I have no idea what they're for, and this is the other size that I had no idea what they were for. So I guess they're extras for something. So I just have extra parts for there. And then you also have the 2 clear silicone pieces, which go on the neck joint, which I'm going to do, this neck joint here, which I'm going to do when I get to the frame. Not the frame, the shell. So that's everything for the Mirai frame challenge, I guess you could say. Frame is complete. Now we just gotta do the other half to actually assemble the actual body parts of the kit. But that's it for Smart Doll Cortex final boss grade. This is part 2 of the frame completion. And then the last part, part 3, will actually be putting the shell on. So we'll do that in another video. So that's it for now. So remember, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, also hit the subscription button. It'll notify you when any of my new videos are out, and as well as it helps me out with my subscription ratings, and my lights just turned off on me. So yeah, I guess that's the end of today's video. So that's enough for now. Stay tuned for part 3, which is going to be the shell. So remember, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.
This is our time, this is our life. Sometimes all you need is a smile to get by.